No, it was almost perfect. Almost perfect. And this is the channel about my cross-stitch journey. You know what? I started this video already 5 times. I'm just gonna read what I wrote there, okay? Hello, or moin, as we say here in Hamburg, and welcome to Stitch-Ilonka. My name is Ilonka, yes. It's spelled with an I, but pronounced with an E. This is a channel about my cross-stitch journey, which started last summer, and I throw in one or the other interesting story here and there, and I usually provide timestamps below if you want to skip to a certain chapter. Goodness me. I'm sorry, y'all. I was so much looking forward to filming today, and somehow I couldn't get the first word out. Okay, so I read my introduction from that sheet of paper that I have over there, or maybe I will record it at the end of my English Flosstube when I am, you know, fluent in English again. I don't know what's going on with me today. Anyway, I'm so happy that you're back and that you switched on my channel again for another update. And if you are new here, I'm usually more professional than that. You know, I usually have my shit together and I usually can speak, okay? So please don't be, you know, don't be judgmental and don't think that this chaos is, you know, the usual thing that you would see here. Please subscribe anyway. I'm sorry, guys. Oh dear. Let me start by saying I haven't been doing much stitching in the last 2 weeks. Well, actually, I have been doing a lot of stitching, but not really working on my whips. So it's going to be kind of different. Well, not a different. I'm still going to show you my whips and everything, but I will talk a lot more just around everything cross-stitch. Have you seen this? My boyfriend, as I said, is really the creative type, and when I had my DMC, you know, paper bag lying around where I had my flosses in, and he grabbed just kind of a Sharpie and he wrote run over it, and it became Run DMC. And then the rest of the night we were just going through YouTubes and listening to old school songs. It was quite a blast. Yeah, so don't leave your Flosstube, don't leave your stitching stuff unattended. Just as a hint. My first segment usually is a segment that I call, how do I call it? Do I have a name already? Expressions around the world. That sounds good, doesn't it? So I provide a sentence or an expression or a saying that I know that are different here in Germany than they would be in English. And I invite you, my international viewers, to provide your translation or your metaphor or your expression in your own language down in the comments. And last week I had 2 sentences or expressions that weren't really too interesting. Either they were too interesting or too difficult. Not too interesting, too similar or too difficult, because some friends who are from the Czech Republic and from Hungary and from Poland, they said, well, yes, I know that there is something that we say in our languages, but I would have to talk to my parents, or I don't really remember. I come back to you. They never did. It's okay. I give you something new today. So last week's expression, I have my computer over there, so I just have a look over there. My last week's expression was too many cooks spoil the broth. And my dear friend who speaks Farsi commented that in her culture, it's if there are too many cooks in the kitchen, it gets too salty. And I think that's a wonderful image. Yes, and it's true. And the same, or the other one was to leave the church inside your village. And I guess it's an expression not to exaggerate or to, you know, to overdo something. And so the English translation would probably be hold your horses. But if you have some more interesting translations to that, please feel free to comment below. But I just wanted to reply to Chris from XrossStitch because he provided some expressions, some colorful expressions, as he said, in his not in his latest Flosstube, but the week before, which I would very gladly pick up and try to translate into my culture. And I would also invite you to comment into and translate them into yours. And as you know, or as you might know, he is from the south of the United States of America, and they have a very colorful and beautiful language. And so he provided the following phrases. One was faster than you can spit on the floor. So I was actually thinking about it, and in Germany we would say faster than you can look. You know, like faster than you can look or watch. But the other one that I came up with immediately was faster than the police allows. But my boyfriend said, well, that doesn't really that doesn't really look good. Does that say something about the German culture? I don't know. So yeah, but that's what we would translate this to. And also he had this wonderful expression, because it's, you know, it's February, it's kind of quite cold. And he said, well, his granny used to say it's colder than a well digger's behind. And it's kind of funny because when we say it's really effing cold outside, we would also say it's arschkalt, and arsch is the behind that we are sitting on. So I'm really wondering why the cold is kind of connected to our behinds. Is that the first thing that gets cold? Maybe if you sleep on your belly? I think I have to think about that. Maybe you have an explanation why that is. Oh, and the last one that I really enjoyed was when he was little, people would call him as high as a grasshopper's knee. And I love this picture because in Germany, if we see, you know, like a child and maybe a very lively child who is sassy and talking a lot and stuff, and we would lovingly call them a 3 cheese high. In German, 3 Käse hoch. So 3 cheese high, but all one word. It's one word, 3 Käse hoch or 3 cheese high. Maybe you have also have some more colorful, interesting, beautiful expressions for that. So please feel free to share that with us in the comments below. And as I've been already talking too much about this, and this is actually a XrossStitch channel, I will leave it at these expressions for this week and bring up some new ones next week. And oh, one thing that I remember is if you are interested in these kind of intercultural exchanges, please feel free to subscribe, because this weekend I will go home again to my father's, and we have kind of we had a talk about that the other day in one of our international Zoom chats, Stitchy Zoom chats, that Germany is mostly known for lederhosen and dirndl, and I was like, well, I grew up with a very traditional garment, because those peers or the people in that same age as my grandmother, they would wear traditional garments, and they look nothing like lederhosen and dirndl. And we have at our home some dolls made up with these traditional garments, and my grandma actually embroidered skirts and hoops and everything. And I would like to kind of yeah, make it a filming session this weekend and bring you some insight into how wonderful our northern Germany Northern German traditional garments would be like. So if you're interested in that, please feel free to subscribe. Oh, and and one more thing. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but this week, yesterday, I think, a friend of mine called me and she said, you need to drink a schnapps, you need to drink, you know, a liquor, a shot, you need to drink a schnapps. And I was like, why? And she's like, you have 555 subscribers. And these, you know, these numbers that are repeating themselves, like 22, 33, 555, these numbers are called Schnapszahl, so Schnaps number in English. And it's actually good if you see that, if you acknowledge that, because if you acknowledge that in your head, it brings you good luck. And you should, as soon as you have the opportunity, you should get a shot. So I actually didn't really, did I do it? Well, better safe than sorry. I think I'm gonna have one tonight again. So I haven't been stitching much on my whips that you've seen last time that much this year, or not this year, this week, because I've been working on something else. I might have mentioned it already. The German-speaking Flosstube community is not that vast. We have a few German-speaking crafty YouTube channels, and they're not just exclusively for cross-stitching. And so I was thinking about doing some explanation videos or kind of filming a cross-stitch dictionary about all the things, because I have been writing down everything, every bit of knowledge that I gathered together from different videos and everything. And so I thought, well, and I can also do it for me, provide some kind of insight into what I've learned and what I've gathered together over time. And so I sat here last week and stitched the same one and the same motif on 14 count, 16 count, 18 count, on 25 count even weave, 1/1 and 2/1, 2/2, and also on linen, 2/2 and 1/1, and also on 36 count, 2/2 and 1/1. And this was a beast. This was a beast. And actually I cheated. I only did half crosses, and because it was too much. It was too much with DMC. But it was a nice practice for me. And actually it was also very nice to see how these, you know, full coverage and more open motifs, how they look, especially on, what was the thing that I was so impressed by? Yeah, this one, the 25 count, because I always thought that this is a strict 1/1 thing, because the 2/2 is just too loose. The coverage is not really that nice. But when I stitched the heart, I really noticed that this is also a choice. I mean, it has a very interesting look to it, and especially when you can see that you can see the fabric through it. And I have to say, I quite like it. So it was quite a good exercise for me, and I like that very much. And I will film it hopefully today. So you might be seeing some German explanation videos coming up on this channel, but in that case, just ignore it and, you know, or maybe click on it and watch it for a few minutes, and then you can, you know, that I get some clicks. No, actually, that's not. Well, do as you like. So I'm just wanted to give you a heads up that some more German content might be coming soon. But in 2 weeks I will have another English Flosstube. So, but speaking of whips, I finally started. I started my Rain Rustle. Leonid Afremov, charted by Artesy. Yes, I'm just admiring it in the camera because it looks different from that angle. I did somewhere around 700 stitches, and I have to say I'm enjoying it so much. It's really a different kind of, it's really a different beast. the full coverage thing and the constant color changes, because I have to change the colors a lot, and it's gonna get even more fun when I am here somewhere, because I'm just up here, and it's really the lighting thing, the lighting thing right now that bothers me, because the colors are so similar and I'm not really seeing that well, so I have to, you know, kind of put down my glasses and move really close to it. And it's nice, it's fun, I like it, and I want to see more progress on it, but I also am looking forward to those times of the year when it's much lighter out when I come home, so that I can see better. But yeah, that's how far I am with the Rain Rustle, and I am really loving it. Next thing I started, what do I show you first? I have to show you something. No, first, I started a dimensions kit, and of course I thought about it 5 times and I still forgot it. Hold on. 2 German floss tubers started a hashtag called DimensionsCell 2022 or DimensionsCell 22. No, it was DimensionsCell 2022, I guess, with 2 S. And they invited us to start a dimensions kit because they wanted to start the bigger one, the Peacock Dimensions Gold Kit. And Jenna already made a nice video about it, of course in German, but I wanted to have a look into these dimensions kits because I have been hearing about them quite a lot, and people seem to like them. And so I opted for the smaller versions because they are called Petits, you know, gold collection Petites. And I bought the Girl on the Beach because she reminds me of my niece when we had our first vacation together on Föhr. Well, and the second one is actually the first one of many Lighthouse collections gold kits that I will be stitching because I like lighthouses. Anyway, so I was going for them, and they said petites, and the final results will be 5 by 7 inches, and it's not going to be too big, and and I was very much looking forward to it. But then I realized that they are on 18 count fabric, and that they are still kind of, well, I did the math. It's still 11,520 stitches that I have to make on this fabric. But I already started, and I started again in the top left corner because I am in the top right corner because I am left-handed. And when I came upstairs the next morning and had a look at the sky, I was like, it's so gorgeous. I love the way, or I love the effects that you can get with half stitches, and these clouds and the water that's coming down here and so on and so forth. I'm really enjoying it, and it's quite fast. Well, at least the first few hundred stitches up here were fast because there were only 2 colors. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this too, and I'm very much looking forward to when it's finished, because I have some beautiful frames for them. And but I'm afraid that I will get into the habit of collecting these dimensions gold kits, because they are all in the same. They have these. They are all in the same packaging, they all have the same height, they are stackable, and you know, they have all these appealing things of a collectible. That's really it's really dangerous for me, because I like collecting things. I mean, it's part of our hobby, isn't it? Collecting things. Anyway, so I am very much looking forward to that. And what else I wanted to show you, I was making some project bags again. And this one I made from a, I don't remember where I got the fabric from, but I saw this online somewhere with just the PVC cut out, like a window up here, and the opening is at the top. And I was just trying my hands at him. I think I could have done it better, and I could have, of course, stiffened it up more and use a different solution for the handle, but you know, the cat was just looking at me like that. I had to do the handle like this. And I also, because I couldn't really work with these floss cards. I'm not one for these floss cards, and I cut them up and bobbinated them, and I made this one. I had leftover vinyl strips from cutting up the vinyl for this ones, and I had these strips lying around, and I was just, you know, trying something out, and I now have this pouch for my bobbins. And I'm really enjoying it. It's crooked, it's I don't really know how to close it, and it's getting open again, and you know, but these were scraps and I had some fun, and I really enjoyed doing that, and I just wanted to show you that. Please tell me that they are cute. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, this was not just a start for the Dimensions sale 2022 on February 4th, 3rd, whatever. This was also my entry into Finish February, which was initiated by SEWGlover Creations. That's SEWGlover Creations, because she dared me to finalize my weaving that I showed last week, and some other things that I have lying around, and to finally finish them, not just, you know, finish them, but fully finish them. And I thought in my youthful and innocent mind that, okay, this is a small one, 5x7, I'm going to get through it in February, no problem, and then I can have this finished as well. But I think I won't be able to. But yeah, and it's also an entry for me into my Freeze February, my hashtag Freeze February, because I don't want to spend any more money on crafting supplies this month. I mean, I sent out a huge order on February 1st, but that doesn't count. Does it? No, it doesn't. This was actually most of the things that I have been working on. I have been working on the Modern Folk Embroidery Love sampler. I finished one of these flowers, and I have to order some more floss for the second flower here, but as it's Freeze February, I can only order it in March, so yeah. But I worked a bit on that, but you've seen it 1,000 times. This is the, oh no, this is the Love Fraktur sampler by Modern Folk Embroidery. Stitching a bit on that, and I have also been stitching a bit on this Winter is Coming Mini Quaker by Stitches Through the Years. I've been adding this, I only added this star up here. And it's really interesting, and that was also something that prompted me to do this this comparison video about the different fabrics, because with those different fabrics, they also have different motifs that are stitched on them, or that look better stitched on one or the other fabric. And this was also something that I wanted to address with that. And as I have, you know, things on Ada, things on even weave, and things on linen, I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to address this. But yeah, this is Stitches Through the Years Winter, and I have until the end of February to finish the winter one, because in March I want to start the spring one, because in March it's springtime, no? Yeah. So yeah. Oh, let me talk to you about 2 shopping experiences that I had this week, or the last 2 weeks. I have been seeing this Riolis kit online lately, and I suppose it's one of their latest releases, one of their new collections or whatever. And I've been seeing it everywhere, and I wanted to buy it. I had a look at my local online shops here in Germany. They have listed it. They have it listed, but they don't have it in stock yet. And so I thought, well, okay, I can wait. Had a look around. Is it available somewhere online? No, it's not. It's a kit. And then I was on Etsy the other day, and I saw this picture on Etsy provided by someone as a downloadable PDF, instant download. And I was like, wait, this doesn't seem right. And then I had a Google, and it's not on here, but they provided the artist who drew this on the packaging and everything. And so I was, you know, innocently sending this person, this Etsy shop, an email, and I was like, oh, can you tell me who the artist is? Because I would like to see if this artist has something else that I would like to stitch. And this person wrote me back and said, no, actually, I just saw this picture online. I downloaded it and had it run through PicStitch and or WinStitch or whatever it's called, and I'm selling them here. And I was like, she actually told me that she plagiarized this kit. And if I hadn't asked her, I would have believed everything that she wrote on this posting, which was, it's my design, it's my thing, I have the rights to distribute it, and all the things that she had written there. And she really told me, no, I just downloaded the picture online and had it run through WinStitch, and then now I'm selling it here. But if you say this is the property of Riolis, then I should better take it down. And I answered her, well, I think you better should if you don't have the license for it. 5 minutes later, it was down. But I was like, man, how many times have I been looking at something on Etsy, downloading it, wanting to stitch it, and not know if these people really have the rights to distribute it. Of course, it's not really traceable most of the time for us as users. But for this one in particular, I was suspicious because I was eyeing it so much and I could not believe that it was online. It was available digitally. So if you come across something and it smells fishy to you, maybe you can, think about it twice and maybe ask them, because I could not believe that she actually answered in an email and said, I downloaded it, plagiarized it, and now I want to have €5 for it. Oh dear. Anyway, so please, next time when you are on Etsy and you see something and you are not sure if this is, you can sometimes see it if a person has an Etsy shop and they have a huge variety of different styles in their shops, maybe this type of drawings and then something very geometrical or something Quakerish or something samplerish or whatever. If you see that there is something that's not really consistent within that person's style, then you can have a look around and see if, someone else maybe do a reverse Google image search. I've never done that, but I know that's a thing. But yeah, just a story of mine that I wanted to share. I also had a very positive shopping experience this week because I was still on the lookout for the perfect floss for Jacob's Modern Folk Embroidery 2022 sale. Because I was actually wondering, well, should I really be doing it just in a simple black thread or a simple black silk thread? And so I was, having a look around and looking for black variegated threads. And I saw some black variegated threads or floss at Modern Folk Embroidery. No, wrong, at Forrest Embroidery. Forrest Embroidery. And I contacted them because I wanted to order something else from them, and I contacted them via Instagram, and I asked them, you have this wonderful black variegated floss, it's called Salt and Pepper, I guess. Do you have it stitched up somewhere so that I can see how the variegation flows when it's a solid piece of pattern? And after just a few hours, she very kindly sent me some pictures in which this floss was stitched. But the color, like the tonal, like the warmth of the pictures were different, because on the one picture it looked more warmish, like from black to brown and then back to black, and on the other picture it looked cooler, so it was more like a dark gray that it was getting to, from black to dark gray. And so I asked her again, I'm sorry that I'm, you know, such a pain, but how would you describe it? Would you say that it's rather on the warm side, or is it really going into a cool gray? And then she asked me, well, what are you actually looking for? And I told her, well, I would like to have a black thread that is variegating from black to a cool gray, blue gray, steel gray. And she said, well, usually our batches are more on the warmer side. They are usually more on the warm brown side, but we have a new batch in the works right now, and they are ready tomorrow morning. And when I am back in the office tomorrow morning, I will send you a picture. And I was like, oh yeah, it would be very, very nice, thank you. And she actually did. The next morning, she sent me a picture, and she was like, oh, well, I have to say, they are actually more on the warm brown side as well. I'm not sure if this will suit you with your project. And I was like, well, you know what? I am ordering something from you today, and I order one of those skeins, and I will have a look at it, and then I will see if I will like it. And then she said, yeah, but please contact me first if you want these 17 skeins that I was talking about, because that's how much the Modern Folk Embroidery sale will actually take in the end. If you really want these 17 or 18 skeins, please contact me first, then we will pack them all from the same batch. And it was so nice that they actually got back to me within a reasonable short amount of time, and she was so nice, actually coming back to me the next day, taking pictures, asking all of my answering all of my questions and everything, and it was really, really nice. I didn't really expect that to be like that, but it was really nice. So I couldn't really resist. And I ordered everything for the Pansies. It's just a picture. Maybe you can go. Shall I really send you over to the Forrest Embroidery homepage? Maybe I should say proceed at your own risk, because everything there is just so beautiful, and the variegated threads are beautiful, and the customer service was so nice now, and I have only heard good things about them. And so I actually, yeah, I ordered from them on February 1st, and I know that they already sent it out, and it takes some time from Russia to Germany here, and I may have to pay some taxes or something, depending on what does it depend. Well, we will see. I will report. I will give you an update on that. But this is the Pansies sampler, one of their new releases from this year, and I like it so much. It's on a. It looks grayish here. It's a dark blue fabric that it's on. Have a look. Have a look online. It's really, really beautiful. Yeah, but that was my positive shopping experience that I had with them. So my plans for the next 2 weeks are finally starting the Modern Folk Embroidery sale. I now ordered the variegated floss from Our Embroidery to Our Forest Embroidery to see how it fits on the fabric that I chose for it. But after listening to Jacob on his latest Flosstube video, where he in which he explained what it's about, you know, what the black thread means and who Engeltje was, I really think that I will just stick with a stark black silky thread and stitch it in black just as it was meant to be, and so that I can finally start with it. And I am also, as I said in the beginning, I will be filming a few German videos, like the XrossStitch dictionary that I have gathered together for my German-speaking Flosstube community, and I would actually like to stitch on my whips, because this the preparation for this dictionary really took a lot of my brain capacity. I like doing it. I like sitting down, planning it out and thinking about it and you know, prepping everything. I like that, but it takes time away from me actually sitting down and stitching, and that's something that I want to do the next 2 weeks. And oh yeah, I think that is all for today. Yes. So again, if you want to see me film, if you want to have a look into traditional German garments and the beautiful embroidery that we have, not just with embroidered flowers on the skirts, but also very intricate pearl stitching and pearl, I don't know how you would say it. Is it pearl weaving? I don't know. Glass beads, not pearls, beads. Beaded stitching. Have a look out, and I will probably film this weekend something about that. So if you're interested in that, please feel free to hit the subscribe button, and I would love for you to come over to my Instagram and say hello over there. And yeah, I know that a few of you watch this on your television, so please take off. So please, now that you've watched this, please take your mobile phones and go to this YouTube video, and please comment what your expressions would be for those sayings that I said in the beginning. Again, timestamps for easier access to those chapters. And I am very much looking forward to see you in 2 weeks again. And until then, happy stitching. No, that's I have to come up with my own thing. Oh yeah. I already forgot. I'm usually singing. In Hamburg sagt man Tschüss. Das heißt auf Wiedersehen. In Hamburg we say Tschüss. And also, yes, bye.